In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, peace be upon you all. This is an English session, grade 8. Unit 2, Seasons of the Year. Lesson 1, Seasons of the Year. Seasons of the Year. A new vocab called hot, wet, dry, sun, sunny, snow, warm, weather, degrees, dusty, humid, temperature, rain, rainy. Rain here is a verb. Rainy is an adjective. Okay? And rain may be a noun. Snow, verb or noun. And snowy, it's an adjective. Cloudy, cloudy. Okay. I'll ask you some questions. Try to answer them. Number 1. How many seasons are there in a year? How many seasons are there in a year? Of course, there are 4 seasons. What are they? What are they? They are called summer, winter, spring, autumn. In American accent, it's called fall. Okay? There are 4 seasons in a year. What are they? Summer, winter, spring, autumn. The letter N is silent. Fall in American accent. Okay? What's the weather like in summer? In general, who can answer this question? What's the weather like in summer? I think it's always, or it's usually hot and sunny. What about winter? It's usually cold and maybe rainy. Okay? Okay. To ask about the weather condition right now, we use this structure. What's the weather like in Cairo? What's the weather like in Cairo right now? It's cold. What about temperature? I think it's 18 Celsius degrees. It's 18, okay, Celsius degrees. Okay, to ask about the weather right now, what's the weather like? What's the weather like in Cairo and Tripoli and so on? It's cold, it's hot, it's rainy. Okay? If the weather is rainy, we will say it's rainy. Okay? And we can say it rains. What's the difference between them? Rainy is an adjective. but rains is a verb. Okay? And if the weather is snowy, we can say it's snowy. Okay? And we can say it snows. To ask about the weather condition right now, we use this question, what's the weather like? What can we do if we want to ask about the weather in the future? Okay? To ask about the weather in the future, we use this structure. What will the weather be like in or tomorrow or next week? To make expectations, okay? What will the weather be like next week? I think it will be cold. Okay? Maybe it will be, or maybe it's cold. Okay? So to ask about the weather right now, we use this question, what's the weather like? To ask about the weather in condition in the future, we use this structure, what will the weather be like next week, next month, next year, and so on. Okay? We have finished. Goodbye. See you next session.